When it was just $4 million, people were like, okay, that's not too bad. It was a loss, but it's okay. But that was before punitive damages. Alex Jones is in trouble. Welcome to Escaping the Echo Chamber. Alex Jones, who is a very well-known and apparently very well appreciated, well followed, well liked, well admired, well watched conspiracy theorist, is looking at a almost $50 million judgment against him. And there are people like, oh, they're trying to silence Alex Jones, and this is crazy, the deep state. And I'm like, did you actually watch the trial? Because here's the thing. I find it interesting that there were a lot of people that were tuned in very closely watching the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial. They supported Johnny Depp and they enjoyed watching the trial where Johnny Depp was putting out a case, and Amber Heard's case was horrible. Her testimony was horrible. A bunch of her witnesses were horrible, particularly her expert witnesses. Her expert witnesses were absolute garbage. But people loved watching that and loved breaking it down and talking about it and watching that and celebrating it. It was all over the internet. Now, the interesting thing is there are people that are right-wing that may have liked Alex Jones that weren't watching this trial with the same zeal. I would assume that if this was an opportunity for the guy that you watch, that you support, that you like, that you'd be watching it with the same zeal. But for some reason, they weren't watching it like that. At least they weren't hanging on every word of the trial, watching the details. But I see people posting information about it. So Jason Whitlock say, oh, why is this? How did he even hurt them? Like, you could have actually watched the trial. In fact, you could still watch the trial. Asking stupid questions without doing any research, you could actually watch the trial, or you could just hit Google and read an article about it. Because let me explain to you what happened. Alex Jones was sued by parents whose child died during the Sandy Hook shooting. When I first heard this case, I said, how are they suing Alex Jones? If he's just talking about a government conspiracy, like that, how does that affect them? See, but he wasn't just saying it's a government conspiracy. If he was just saying something like it was a government conspiracy, the government was behind it, they orchestrated it to create a false flag situation, or to create a situation where they could then use it to justify some increase in police infringement and police crackdowns on our freedoms, then that would be a statement where you could say, well, what does this have to do with them? They may not like what he's saying, but it doesn't have to do with them. But that's not what he was saying. He wasn't just saying that the government was behind it. He was saying it didn't happen. So he didn't just say that the government was lying about it. He said these parents were liars. They were actors. They didn't actually lose their children. He made specific factual claims about these people. Specific factual claims that were absolutely untrue. But his audience bought it. Now, if by chance anybody who's watching this is a part of Alex Jones' audience, they may look at me, say, oh, I just believe what the media says. Mother, and I say that with the utmost and say, mother, Google me. Google me. By no fucking stretch of the imagination am I somebody who drinks the mainstream media's Kool-Aid. By no stretch of the imagination. Miss me with that nonsense. And in fact, that reminds me that I have a video that I need to get out, because somebody actually had that opinion of me that I was just somebody that just believed the mainstream narrative, and I got to get that out. I've forgotten to get it out all this time. But the point is, no, I am not somebody who just believes the mainstream media narrative. Not by any stretch of the imagination. I am not somebody who just, oh, whatever the government says, okay, the government says that's the official story, then it must be true. No, that's not me. But what I am not is somebody who's just going to listen to any asshole making stuff up and say, oh, okay, yes, it's a conspiracy. I'm going to say, wait a minute, how do you know? I'm going to say, what evidence do you have? I'm going to ask questions because it's stupid not to. And now you may think I'm calling you stupid, and yeah, I am, because it is stupid to just believe these things without doing any research, without actually looking and expecting any evidence to support those types of accusations and allegations. But let me tell you, as stupid as I'm calling you, I've been more stupid, because I've not only believed stuff that had no factual basis in the past, I've done stupid stuff as a result. So when I say don't be stupid, I'm telling you from personal experience. Don't be stupid and just believe what some conspiracy theorist is saying on the internet or in a book or on the street corner. Don't just believe somebody just because they said this is a conspiracy, that it's a conspiracy. Ask for evidence. Ask for facts, ask for support. There needs to be something. If somebody's going to make certain types of claims, back it up. Because what you have Alex Jones having done is making stuff up and then bringing on experts that would just had something to sell, whether it be books or just stories or just their time. They just had something that they were trying to get themselves out in front of people. And he's just bringing on these so-called experts, just making stuff up. He was making stuff up. He had no proof of anything. And he was just, in fact, there was proof that countered a bunch of the claims he was making, and he would ignore it. Why? Because it fit a narrative. And so for those of you out there that may have liked Alex Jones, that may have followed Alex Jones, my point to you is, if you actually are anti-authoritarian, if you actually think that the government and the powers that be are up to no good, you've got to realize that if Alex Jones is just making stuff up, he's the enemy. He's controlled opposition. He's somebody that is sent to distract you from actually paying attention to what's real. He's creating these red herrings for you to be worked up over, while actual conspiracies, while actual malfeasance and misfeasance is being conducted and ignored by the masses. So what anybody who realizes that conspiracies do actually exist. The people that run this world aren't benevolent overlords. They're not. I know this. I know this because I can see from their actions on a daily basis. The point is, they're doing actual stuff that's harmful. If you've got somebody making stuff up, they're taking your attention away from the actual stuff that needs to be dealt with, that needs to be paid attention to, that needs us to actually come up with some way to put a stop to. But if we're watching Alex Jones and buying supplements, guess what? Alex Jones is making a killing while the people at the top are making a killing. But right now, he got hit where it hurts him the most, in the pocketbook. Because I watched parts of this trial, the penalty portion, where he got caught lying repeatedly. He was told by the judge, listen, you can't get up on the stand and tell lies to the jury. If you said that you're bankrupt, that's a lie. You cannot tell that to the jury. You may have filed for bankruptcy. You have not been declared bankrupt. You cannot tell the jury that you've provided discovery. That's a lie. You have not provided discovery. The judge is telling him, I'm here. I'm presiding over this case. I'm watching what's happening. And there are certain things you're saying that I know are lies. You cannot get up on the stand and tell these lies to the jury. And one of the most beautiful portions of this case is when he's lying on the stand about providing everything to the plaintiff's attorneys. And the plaintiff's attorney says, no, you didn't, because there's a text message where you say such and such. And he says, oh yeah, so you have it. See, I told you, you got everything. He says, no, I know you're lying because I got this text message that I'm looking at that y'all didn't provide us. What happened was your attorney accidentally sent me your entire phone, all of the data in your phone, not just text, everything in your phone. And he never made any steps to claim privilege over the information that I had in my possession. So according to the rules of evidence and inadvertent production, after 10 days, without any privilege being claimed, it fell into his complete possession. And he says, and now it's been 12 days. So as of 2 days ago, this phone falls free and clear into my possession. Now it's mine. And that's how I know you're lying. And so Alex Jones, like the look on his face, the look on his attorney's face was like, it was priceless. And there's a hearing that takes place where the other attorney tries to get a mistrial declared because of that. And the judge is like, okay, so you want me to declare mistrial on the technicality, but the other plaintiff, the plaintiff's attorney says, hey, if he wants to claim privilege over any of the information that's in that, he can still claim, he still could have claimed privilege as of this morning. He still hasn't done that. I'm giving, like if you don't order it, there's law enforcement agencies that want this information. There's law enforcement agencies that want Alex Jones' phone, including the January 6th committee. And I'm giving that to them today. So the judge is like, yeah, I'm not declaring a mistrial. And hey, I don't think I have the authority to even stop you from providing the information to the January 6th committee. It was priceless. Watching a liar and a scammer get exposed live on TV. And once again, what really pisses me off about Alex Jones is that he pretends to be exposing conspiracies, but he's just making stuff up, which means actual conspiracies continue to go ignored and unaddressed. This dude is part of the deep state. This dude is controlled opposition, and all he's doing is making a buck for himself because he knows there's a bunch of people who are dissatisfied, rightfully dissatisfied with the way this society is being run. I get it. Trust me, I get it. But he is a distraction to those people. Instead of the liberator, he's posing as. I strongly suggest looking at the trial, looking at some of the things that have happened during this trial, particularly during the penalty phase, because he got hit with the $4.4 million judgment in damages and then $45 million in punitive debt. Like, it's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing to see. People say, oh, no, it's fraud. It's fraud. Like, the same people, it's amazing because the same people that are now claiming that Alex Jones is being silenced were happy over the Johnny Depp verdict. Like, that makes no sense. That makes no sense. Like, seriously, it's amazing. I just thought about that. It's absolutely amazing. It's astounding. It's astounding that the same people that are upset over Alex Jones being caught in a lie and being held responsible for his lies and his malicious lies about parents whose child was murdered, that's not a problem. That him being caught in the lies is a problem. That him being held responsible for his lies is a problem. But when Amber Heard is making lies up about Johnny Depp, that's got to be addressed with. That's not silencing. When Amber Heard is being held responsible for her lies, it's not silencing. When Alex Jones is being held responsible for his lies, it's silencing. Like, do you people have any fucking integrity, any consistency at all? To my audience, my normal audience, I know y'all ain't on that time. So I share the hell out of this, because it's time to call these frauds out. Some of these people are also part of the problem, and that they don't want to solve the problem. They don't want to see what's actually behind the curtain. They just want to continue to live in the lie and pretend that they're opposed to the system when in fact they're just part and parcel part of it. As always, don't forget to hit the thumbs up, like, share, subscribe if you have not subscribed already. And if you disagree with me, if you think, no, Alex Jones is a hero, he's a martyr, this is the deep state coming after him, give me the thumbs down. And then state in the comment section why he should get to lie and defame these parents and not be held accountable. Let me know that in the comment section. And if you enjoyed this video, you can click right here and check out when I talked about one example of why you can't trust the media.